sir.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday Showdown brought to you by the Billiards Camera. Coming at you live from Doc Penn'ys in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Got a nice matchup this afternoon between Buck Taylor and Shane Bryant. This is going to be a fun race to 11. They are going to be playing all three formats, 8, 9, and 10. It would appear that Buck won the lag there. So we'll let them get started, and I'm going to check a few connections on my side. So I'm going to mute myself for a second, but I do have Mike Moss here with me. So feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards.
We appreciate everybody tuning in today. We're going to get on here and share this ourselves. This is going to be on our Facebook page here very shortly. You'll be able to get straight to the link on the YouTube. But the best way, as Andy said, get on YouTube and do a search for The Billiards Camera. Get on there and like his page, subscribe to it. You should get notifications. You can turn notifications on anytime he goes live. So we got Buck Taylor and Shane Bryant playing a race to 11 today. They've got an interesting format, which I kind of like. They're going to rotate between 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball. We get to see a little bit of all the games that we play today in this match. Buck and Shane are both 6s in 8-ball. I think they're both 6s in 9-ball as well. So this should be a very competitive on paper match. And we get to see, like we said, the strategies of 3 different games today. I don't know. I'm sure they're doing push-outs. I'm sure they're jumping. I don't know if they're doing call ball and bucket here in 8-ball, but that's up to them, of course. So Buck has stripes early in this match, and Shane is now shooting solids. That's 6-ball and the 15-ball down here on this. What's that? Hole 3?
Right.
Is that hole 3? No, it's not hole 3. Is that what they were calling it?
1, 2, 3.
2 is where I'm talking about.
4, 5, 6. Right? No, it was a here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I learned something 2 weeks ago when we were doing these. I'd never played all that, so that was fun.
We're changing up a couple views here and there, so bear with me. Trying to get a couple things worked out.
I do like the new sponsorships that we've got. Appreciate everybody supporting Andy and the Billiards Camera in this venture. We've got our dates for our February showdowns, and I've already got 2 of them booked, and I haven't even released the dates. So hope to be doing that next week. This past week has been a snowy, icy kind of deal that we hadn't got everything done we wanted to this week.
We know how Arkansas is in January and February. It's a snowy ice hole.
Yeah, well.
Do you have your phone where you can
I do.
Share stuff?
I will do that right now.
Thank you. All right. So, not going to lie, I'm just now paying attention to what's going on, so I don't know who's solids, who's stripes.
Shane is solids.
Okay, so looks like Buck's going to try to kick at this 11 ball maybe. Very nice kick. Should be able to run that 15 all the way up. Then maybe have shape on the 14. We'll see. Oh, got caught by the point.
Or as you heard him say, titty.
Yep. He got the point.
Let's see. Oh, I can share this from my phone. Nice. Guess that was my phone.
No, I think it was I don't know that anybody heard that, but you and I. But
Okay.
It was something I had pulled up here on this screen.
So Shane down to his last two solids here. 3-ball obviously goes, but the brown ball, I don't know what number that is, but
15.
no, the solid.
Oh,
On the rail.
7.
7, okay. You got to make this shot and get the breakout. But if you don't, the 10 ball still tied up, of course, there. So strategic decision here by Shane.
Some of the good old-fashioned strategery.
Ooh, he went for the 7. Does that free up the 10 to go in that pocket? Looks like there's enough room.
Very close. From my angle, I don't think the 10 will slide past the 3.
It must not. He probably wouldn't have shot that if it went. So I'm going to assume that this 10 ball's tight little window here. Yeah, it looks better there. 10 ball does not go, but we'll see. A little cross bank here. Or does he play defense? Play the defense. That's pretty good. Good effort and all right. So Shane's going to miss this 7 ball on purpose, maybe, and hook buck on the 10. I made the bank. Now, strategery in game 1.
About to strategize that ass.
Not a bad shot. Okay, I'm supposed to be sharing something, aren't I?
No, you're good.
We're supposed to be working.
Still
here.
getting a lot of stuff collected and put together.
Okay, I'm getting this shared to my personal Facebook page. We've got to figure out how to do it.
And if you are watching on YouTube, please make sure and hit the thumbs up button. That just helps me out in the long run. Kind of helps the Facebook and the YouTube algorithm. So as they say nowadays, smash that like button.
All right, Shane with an opportunity here. Get out the first game. Nice shot.
Leaves himself with a nice shot on the 8. And a good out there for Shane. Puts him up 1-0 in this race to 11.
All right, the next rack will be 9 ball. 8, 9, 10. They're going to rotate games.
And I see a young man in the distance walking away, but good-looking young man that you'll be able to see later on tomorrow evening, doing a nice long race to 21. We got Dustin Stevens and Kevin Espy going to put on a show for us. So,
Looking forward to that. We have ghosts here, Andy.
no, I hit a button, so if there was a glitch for anybody, I apologize.
I've shared this to my personal page, Mike Moss on Facebook.
I've heard of that guy.
Douche.
Dusty Rowe checking in. What's up, people? How you doing, sir? Good to hear from you.
The old two rails never fails there from Shane. I'm not the smartest person. I can't always figure out technology.
You mean to tell me you are not techno savvy?
I don't know that I'm anything savvy.
Not techno savvy. That's why he's one of those important people that has important people to do those things for him.
You know what? I am good at
Delegation. That's right. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why you see some of the nice sponsorship logos up in the corners of the screen provided by Emerald Media. Make sure and check her out online at emeraldmedias.com. She takes care of a lot of things for a lot of good small businesses, Doc Penn'ys being one of them. Love the work that she does. She's one of those wonderful people that he delegates those technological responsibilities to.
Okay. Everything should be shared to our Doc Penn'ys page on Facebook. But those people that haven't found this feed yet don't care, so that doesn't really matter. If you're listening to us, you've already found us. But we ask that you share as well.
Sharing is caring.
Ball in hand called. Shane called it on himself. Buck Taylor out of... Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Now, I was going to ask, Dusty, you said something about the voices have static. Is that mine and Michael's, or what are you catching on your end? Anyway, you said you were starting to say Mike.
Buck plays out of CJ's mostly, up at Benton. Plays a lot of tournaments with us as well. I think Shane plays out of here, of course, as well. But I think he also plays some league and tournaments up at CJ's. So these two guys know each other quite a bit. All right. Dusty's saying that we do have some static going on. Anybody else listening, if you can pipe in and tell us what you're hearing. Yep, Kevin SB just said static for both mics as well. So what I think we should probably do, is let y'all watch this match while we try to get the static figured out. Ten ball is the next rack. Andy's going to play some of his stuff here.
tonight. We've tried a couple different things, tried a couple changes here, so make sure and let me know what you guys hear on your end.
Shane just won his third game. So Shane off to a 3-0 lead early, but we do need some feedback if y'all can help us see if the audio is any better or if it's still the same.
And I do apologize to Buck and Shane for the little gremlins we're dealing with. Hopefully it doesn't take away from the enjoyment of your live stream when you go back and watch it later.
So we're just going to work extra hard now that it's working.
Yeah. I'm going to do some fat boy jumping jacks and everything. Woo-hoo.
Can you go do that on camera?
No.
All right. Awesome now. Thank you, guys. Andy fixed it. All right, game number 4. Shane is up 3-0 in this race to 11. We are back to 8-ball. We appreciate everybody's feedback. Andy is a wizard at all this and got it fixed.
We appreciate your feedback, and we apologize for our feedback.
Oh, no doubt.
That's a technical audio joke. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, Coda wants to see the jumping jacks, Andy.
Coda, I believe you and I had a private conversation the other day, and that's something I can show you off to the side based on the conversation we had the other day.
Ooh. Why are we talking about secrets here? This is no fun.
As Bert Kreischer would say, secret time.
No doubt.
I don't know if you've watched it, but that's one of his comedy specials called Secret Time. If you get a chance, like he needs me to give him a shout out or anything.
Sure,
but I'm sure Bert's paying attention.
Bert needs your help.
Yeah. Make sure and check out Bert's stuff on Netflix. He's got a couple great specials out there. If you're a fan of Bert Kreischer, his partner in crime is a guy named Tom Segura. Tom's another fantastic comedian, been in the game for a long time. Again, these people don't need my shout outs. It's just the shit that I listen to all the time. So,
aren't they doing a podcast together now?
Oh yeah.
Or is it Segura's and then Bert's on there occasionally?
No, they've been doing one together for a year called Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah.
And then Tom's got his own. He's got a podcast with his wife Christina P. called Your Mom's House. So if you go to Your Mom's House on YouTube, which is YMH Studios, they got a lot of great content. If you're looking for something to watch, because we know that there's not a ton of shit to watch in the movie and TV industry right now. So when you don't have time to tune into these live pool events like we're providing you, then you can look some of that stuff up on YouTube. A lot of great content that lightens things up in the world we live today.
If you are easily offended, disregard everything he just said, though.
Absolutely.
Good shot. Got a 3-ball combo there and got a breakout. Now needs a little bit of love, and he didn't get it. Looks like he can kick at this 13.
So it's been a while since we've done a lot of these, so we haven't been able to use any of our terms that we'd come up with as far as vegetable medley and that sort of thing. So, a 3-ball combo, I think we ought to call that 3-piece with a biscuit, something like that maybe.
I like it.
Okay.
Hungry now. Somebody want to run down a Popeyes for me?
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
You're going to get tagged for that. Did you pay to use that jingle?
That was obviously a
endorsement.
Highly perfect recorded audio from their commercial. So, yeah, I'm sure that they're going to have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Who knows? They may float me a 3-piece and a biscuit for that one.
This is our first of 2 matches today. This is the race to 11 between Buck and Shane. You're in for a treat in the next match.
Yeah. I thought about it, as some of you have hopefully noticed, I've tried to make a few changes to the video quality, add a few things here and there. I've started to try to add player photos as you see down in the corners of the screen. And the next lineup we have for you this evening is who, Michael?
Lisa Dwiggins, Faith Cross versus, and they're both, of course, Lisa works here. Faith's been playing out of here.
So they are playing together as a team.
They're playing doubles, representing Doc Penn'ys. I think their names today is Doc's Daddies. This is what they're going as.
Okay.
Versus Courtney Ramsey and Tara Maltby from CJ's. And I've already been notified that there's 4-0 for Shane.
Very nice out.
That the intention is they're going to do a race to 7, Masters race, so we'll be playing some 8-ball and some 9-ball in that one. But
Masters!
After every rack, the losing team is buying a round of shots.
So, that being said, what I was trying to get to is I think we can all assume that this is going to be a bit of a cackle fest at some point. Not starting off. The ladies are going to be spot on at the beginning, but once the shots start hitting, there's going to be a lot of cackling going on. So I was actually trying to decide on whether I should put player photos up or if I could just get chickens going. But I opted for the lovely ladies and their faces.
Well, the fact that you've said all that now, just oof.
That you can say it and not do it, and it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Hitler, I'm sure, said a bunch of stuff that he didn't come through with. So he was only kicked for the stuff that he tried to do. So it's
actually fine. Okay. Yeah. The stuff he wanted to do, that's okay.
Is there a nap break at 5? Why, are you calling this a bit of a snooze fest, Mr. Rowe?
He might have been up all night working.
That's true. That's possible. And Dusty's always good, and he's gotten me saying it in my personal life a little bit. If something comes up, he says, "Oh, boy." So he needs to change it to Row Boy. Row Boy, we got another one.
So I'm not real sure how this match came about. I don't know. There's not bad history here. There's not bad blood between these guys, but
we could always go out and start some shit. That's what we do. Okay, and Dusty is talking about taking a nap at 5. He may be talking about the ladies' race later on, but maybe we can convince these guys to take an intermission after 5 racks and do like the old school duel where they slap each other in the face and then 10 paces and then they throw cue balls at each other.
Let's do it.
Rock on.
I'll get the cameras out. As long as it doesn't involve me. That's a good shot from Buck. And again, Buck's not getting much love to start this match here.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I've been trying to label these so that they're easily found for playback later. So this one, this one's called the Sunday Showdown, Buck Taylor and Shane Bryant. For the ladies' match, should I change the name to like 4 girls, 1 table, something like that? Or let's see.
No.
Oh, no, there we go, right there. How many spheres are on the table during a rack of 8-ball? There's 16, including the cue ball. Okay, so 4 girls, 16 balls. Yeah. Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
You're gonna start an OnlyFans page, are you?
Man, I thought about it.
All right, Buck gets out. There we go. Buck got a game.
I thought about it. I even thought about trying to do an OnlyFans page for my big yabba dabba doo feet, because I'm sure there's a freak out there that likes that at some point, but I just can't bring myself to do it. There's people who make damn good money.
Game number 6 is 10 ball. Earlier, I was going to talk. Buck does professional fireworks shows for a living.
I was unaware of this.
Like, he's just back from shows in Hawaii and Australia.
That sounds like a blast.
Ba-doomts. And he was showing me they were in a bar playing pool
In Australia?
in Australia. Actually, and this might have been islands north of Australia, Philippines, somewhere up in there, you know.
Like recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were playing
Good.
pool in a bar.
Please tell me he ran into Efren.
No.
Okay.
The high tide came in,
Uh-oh.
and when the water washed through, there were no more pool tables, and he was in the room.
Oh, man. I hate it when that cold water comes up and hits your balls. Whew.
Pretty impressive video. He's probably got it up on Facebook. But yeah, he travels. Asshole's been to Hawaii and Australia in the last month.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Something I thought about. I'm always, and let me put this out there, if you guys have ideas or thoughts for...
Marshall Islands. Thanks, Joy.
Oh, okay, Marshall Islands. If you guys have thoughts or ideas that you would like to share for additional content that we could provide on the YouTube page, besides the live stream matches, that might be something that we consider. Obviously, Mike and I have day jobs, so unfortunately, I don't have a ton of extra time to devote to this. But I bring all that up to say, I thought it would be cool if I can figure out how to do it and keep from getting like copyright strikes. It'd be cool for you and I to sit down and do like a 30-minute live stream, just the two of us bullshitting, but talking about the best songs for pool halls, especially songs that talk about pool. Whenever I think about it, the one that always comes to my mind is Jim Croce, You Don't Mess Around with Jim.
Okay.
I mean, that's just a straight up pool hall song, in my opinion.
Staple, for sure.
Yeah. But I'm sure there are a ton of other good songs out there that you and I could discuss.
Johnny Lang has a real popular one that is Rack 'em Up.
Oh,
you hear that
yes.
often?
Yep.
In pool halls, for sure.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, there's staples in a jukebox, of course, but...
like I said, I got to try to figure out how I can at least play some snippets or something so that we don't get copyright strikes that take down the content. That's the last thing we want to do. But yeah, like I say, if you guys have any ideas of additional content that you would like to see, let me know, and we'll see if it's something we can create and put together.
Man, he made such a nice run there.
Well, at least he left Shane with a hard shot.
I don't even remember watching a podcast a couple days ago, and they were talking about this very thing, about music over podcasts, and they were saying, I didn't follow it up, and I don't know if it's true, but if it's under 6 seconds.
Yeah, but and I've heard that as well. That's something that I think the best thing would be for me to try to get a hold of YouTube, which, yeah, that'll be easy to do.
Sure.
And try to discuss with them how we could do that. The problem is, even if it's a 6 or 8 second time limit, I know that both you and I, once we start getting into music, as you know, you and I have shot around and played music for many years. Once we get into a jam, we don't want to shut it off. Man. That'll be the tough part.
Just have them shut us down at this point.
Right. Yes, that is absolutely true. man, I was going to be brutal with a comment, but I don't think I will. So,
Can I?
I mean, you can, but I will bow to Mr. Rowe in his attack of my 6-second abilities.
I was just going to say, what is that, 2 women?
Right, yeah.
6 seconds.
6 seconds, I had to do it 3 times.
Sorry, Joy. That's Dusty's fault. That's a good question, Joy.
No, it does not. I see that posted on Facebook, to my knowledge. Their rules are a lot more stringent when it comes to copyright infractions. I learned long ago that putting on there that I do not own the rights to this music does not keep you from getting hit at all. The thing is, the way Facebook is set up is they have a bot that listens for copywritten material, and that bot will just pick it up and say, "Oh, that's a strike," and then to my knowledge, the bot doesn't even look at the description for you to say that. But even if you say, "I don't own the rights to the music," then someone could make the argument of, okay, well, if you don't own the rights to the music, then why are you using it in your production? That'd be like someone replaying an NFL game and just saying, well, I don't own the rights to this, but here it is for everybody. I'm sure the NFL, being the nonprofit organization that it is, they would be fine with that. Very lenient.
What would happen if you say, I own the rights to the music that's in this?
Then I would be as crazy as Kanye West.
Well, that dude's getting crazier.
Yeah.
Didn't I see a snippet with him on Joe Rogan's show the other day? And he just making no sense.
I watch the Rogan podcast fairly often. Like I say, I tend to watch a lot of podcasts instead of local media or even nationwide media coverage because it's so depressing. But I've seen discussions about Kanye's craziness, but he has not been on the show that I've seen. I did see a article earlier today that talked about some dental work that Kanye had just had, where he had like all or most of his teeth pulled and had some platinum teeth orthodontia created for $850,000. So it's like a permanent platinum grill. I don't know the truth behind it. I didn't research it. I just read the little snippet and thought, okay, that's some craziness.
Is he still making music?
I would assume. I mean,
I don't know.
that's what he does. And I know that a lot of people have talked about him over the years and talked about, man, he's always putting out bangers and great music, and maybe I just haven't given it a fair shake, but I don't necessarily see what all the hubbub's about. Thank you, sir. But maybe I just haven't given it a fair shake. I don't know. There's been one or two songs where I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but there are some people that look at his body of work and see it as innovative as the Beatles were back in the 50s and 60s. And to me, that's kind of a stretch, but again, maybe I'm not giving it the fair shake. By the way, there is a pool match going on here.
What?
And Shane just did a nice defensive play there. Well done, Shane.
3 balls sitting in the pocket. This is a 1 or 2 rail kick. Got a pretty good chance to make this.
This is a nice swing.
Yeah. I will say, I don't think Buck has gotten down here and played much on the new diamonds. I know he was here.
Oh, well, that's going to affect him all day long.
It is. Maybe he was here last week for a little bit, but yeah, he came by for a little bit last weekend. But Shane's obviously played more. We've had these diamonds now. Tomorrow will be 4 weeks. They are starting to play really nice. They were real slick at first.
Loved it.
Yeah. To me, they're just playing better and better every day. Shane went for a break out there to try to get the 13 in the same pocket, I think.
And I had this conversation with a couple people within the past week or so since we had these. Obviously the pockets on these tables are a little bit smaller than a valley table. We all know that. But what I have found, nice out there, what I have found for me anyway, is that when, not knocking you at all, but, when you opened up and you had the valley tables here, I felt like my skill level in my own mind kind of went down a little bit. And I figured out that once you got the diamond tables back in here, that there's something about a diamond table that actually affects my confidence level. And, we all know you're going to play better in any sport if you are confident about your tools and your equipment. So, yeah, I absolutely love the diamond tables. It's a weird thing to think that a better quality table would affect your confidence and make your gameplay change, but that's just one of my many mental issues.
Let's list them. No, I'm kidding.
Right, we don't have that kind of time, and that will definitely get us strikes from YouTube if we start listing my issues.
I think it's a skill level preference. The lower skill level, the beginning players, all they think about most of the time. I'm not lumping everybody, but ones and twos and some threes are, they just want to make a ball. They're not playing shape. They're not relying on the cue ball rolling around where they need it to go. They're just making balls, and the bigger pockets helped them, which gave them confidence. To me, if I miss a ball, I missed it. It's not because a pocket was smaller or bigger or whatever, but what hurt me on the valleys was, they rolled off here and there. You cannot keep the tables clean enough that they weren't rolling away from the rails. These diamonds, where you hit the ball, that's where it's going. The cue ball's going. There's not a weeble wobble, nothing on these.
And you bring up a very good point there, because I think you would agree that in the time that you and I have played together and you've helped me out with a lot of my pool education and training, that it's obvious with my play that I prefer a slow rolled shot because I feel more in control of cue ball placement. And maybe that's it, with the diamond tables rolling a little bit more true than most tables. That's where my slow roll play gets to shine.
I totally agree with that. And I'm exactly the opposite.
Right.
I like to hit them harder, but I'm trying to get the cue ball on a spot in the table that I want to shoot my next shot for, and I'm confident that the cue ball is going to go where I'm trying to get it to. So It works both ways.
Real quick, are they playing wild nine or call nine?
I do not know.
Okay. Because Buck has the opportunity to sink the 9 ball here, either with a carom or looks like he may try the 6 in the corner with the hopes of the 9.
I would think it's wild nine. They're playing call 8 ball. They're playing call 10 ball. So I kind of like throwing in 9 ball where it just goes nuts,
Gotcha. You are making sure to watch these screens and not that one, right?
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching them all.
Okay,
I know which one is
yeah.
with us.
I mean, that's the lag, so that's just up so that we can see the beautiful comments from Zach and Joy and Dusty and Coda, all the wonderful people that have tuned in today to spend time with us on this cool Sunday afternoon.
There's the patented Shane rail shot. He uses that a lot. We've talked about him doing that shot before.
Yeah, and I've heard other people make. Buck tried it and did not make contact, so he still has a shot to make here. I've heard people talking about that. That, like, if you try that in Vegas, that's not going to be looked at as a legal shot because you're not actually stroking. You're not actually pushing against the cue ball. You're just, I mean, realistically, you are just dragging the tip across the cue ball to get it to move. So it's not actually a stroke. Therefore, some people would say it would be a foul. I understand both sides of it. I didn't know if you knew for sure what.
I'm pretty sure it's legal in APA.
Okay.
I've seen him do it in Vegas, I think. I'm pretty confident I've seen him do it.
And I know that he, you jokingly said patented.
Oh,
nice
shot.
out.
Yeah, good shot, Buck.
Buck. Obviously Shane did not come up with that. That's a shot that's been around for years that we've seen professionals do. It is kind of a touchy shot, so somebody that's of a higher skill level, such as Shane or higher, that that's something that they can pull off with a little bit of finesse. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be rules depending on where you're playing. Shane said he's having fun, and that is the most important part.
Dusty said he showed him, which I believe 100%.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because my 6-second adventures, Dusty showed me that as well. So yeah.
There we go.
Hi-oh!
5-3, but trying to sneak his way back into this match. Race to 11.
We are now on 10 ball. For those of you just tuning in, with the race to 11, they're playing 8, 9, and 10 in that order. So we are now on a 10 ball set.
And Buck seems to be settling down a little here. Getting back in this match, but
if you don't mind, I'm going to use the restroom real quick, and I will be right back. While I'm out there, you had mentioned that there were some other folks that may be interested in doing commentary. Was that for this set or some others, or is there somebody out there that you would like me to grab to fill in for me while I'm away? Or do you just want to sit here and quietly enjoy these guys?
Sure, you can see if Robert or Mike want to jump in here.
Okay.
Shadow?
All right. Well, I will.
Tyler, somebody? Sure.
Okay.
I'll give you a break. If you show me, I know.
Yeah, the score.
The score's
down
there.
Here is just plus whoever it is.
And it automatically updates it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Done deal. All right, Andy's left the room. It's time for us to have a little fun. No. Good bank there from Buck. I'm not real sure who's going to come in and jump on the microphone with us, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. Here's Buck to get within one game. All right. He showed me how to do this. Buck +1. There we go. All right. So Shane is up 5-4 in this race to 11. We are back to 8 ball. Dusty, come on, buddy. I will say that we are live streaming today, of course, on YouTube, but we are playing these showdowns at Doc Penn'ys Billiards here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. We've been open a little bit over than a year now. We opened up, well, officially we opened last February. We're calling it about a year. We just got our 10 diamonds in about 4 weeks ago. We have 10 7-foot diamonds. We are open 7 days a week, 12 p.m. at noon every day until at least 11 or 12 at night, just depending on how many people we have in the room. We stay open until 1 a.m. We got a 1 a.m. license. We have a full kitchen, full bar, beer, wine, refreshments, pretty good menu. If you've never stopped in, we'd sure love to see you. Yeah, we can hear it back there. The cackling. All right. It's the moment of the truth of who is going to be on the microphone. Yay! My favorite Maltby. Well, my second favorite Maltby. Robert Maltby in the house. Robert, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, man. Appreciate you jumping in here with us.
Yeah, anytime.
We're not really doing a whole lot of commentary. We're just kind of chatting. So if you want to talk about pool, we certainly can, and some strategy and stuff. But Andy and I just been kind of bullshitting our way through this.
Okay.
Which is pretty normal.
Sounds right.
Well, I'm glad you came in. It can let us talk about the match that's coming up a little bit later. Your wife, Tara, is one of the 4 that we've promoted as a lot of cackling, I think is what Andy said. But she excited? She nervous? Is she just looking to have a good time? What's going on one of our competitors in this later match?
So the biggest thing is I think she's more worried about the shots, not on the pool table, but the shots off the table. That's her biggest concern is she really wants to do well and not disappoint anybody or miss any shots that she shouldn't be making. But I think she's going to handle her own.
So we referenced it. We've heard that the losing team is buying a round of shots every rack.
So for every game, the losing team buys a round of shots for the table. So the winners and the losers will get a shot after every game. So I think after the first 5 or 6 games, if they go pretty quick, it's going to be a pretty good show.
If this goes hill in a race to 7,
Doc Penn'ys is going to make a nice little penny.
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at it. But we could have a nice 4-hour
Absolutely
race to 7 coming up here. But that's one of the things that we want to do. We're trying to promote pool as have fun. Just come in and enjoy your friends. It's not always gambling. It's not always the hustle. It's not always sandbagging to get your team to Vegas. It's just most of these showdowns that we do, I think everybody likes the opponent they're playing, and they're here to have a good time, and hopefully they can entertain.
Absolutely. It's more about the bragging rights, I think, for these girls because they want to play, they want to do well, they all want to win. And instead of playing for a lot of money and have that kind of pressure, I think the shots is a good option for them good incentive for them to play with.
Man, I don't know that I would agree to that.
Yeah.
You and I could play a hill match, race to 7. How are you on 12 shots?
I'm not good at all.
Okay.
Not good at all.
All right, we're talking about a match coming up. We're going to start feeding them apple juice and just tell them when it's something.
Some flavored water.
Shot of Propel. All right, I don't know if you've been watching this out there or not. Shane jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Buck done a nice job to get back here, 5-4. And Buck was not getting the rolls.
No.
Wasn't shooting horribly, but Shane was getting out every shot. Oh, I missed something there. I guess Buck made an early 8, didn't he?
Early 8, yeah.
Okay. Do. See, that's what happens. I start to. This is the delay. I need to be watching this because this is where we're at. But yeah, there's. Have you been on one of these?
Actually, in the Showdown match playing or
Yes.
on talking?
On the Showdown.
Not yet.
You haven't been.
Hoping soon.
We have something in the works, and I don't want to put anything out there, but it's very possible that Mr. Robert's going to be an opponent of mine.
It'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. It's more than just one player, you know.
And that's why we're here. Nine balls a game now. They're doing 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball. That's how I keep checking the score, because I know 10 games, this is supposed to be 9-ball. Yeah, so they're right. So we're right on the scoreboard. I know they're keeping it out there as well. I think these guys are doing a donation for Shoot for the Cure for St. Jude's in this match, too.
Okay.
Do you know?
I don't know.
It seems like I heard that. I know tonight's match. I don't know. Maybe I'm just throwing stuff out there. Everybody ought to play for St. Jude's. That's what I need to get to, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's you know, for the kids, for St. Jude's, or if it's for another like charity or organization, I think there's a lot of good that can come from these for sure.
I did not think that 3 would go, and it went. So that was a nice shot from Buck.
Ooh.
That's 5-ball. Defense doesn't cross bank maybe. 9's in the way. Yeah, I was gonna play defense. And the old double kiss, gotcha. I'm finding on these new diamonds, there's a lot of double kissing going on. That there's still a lot of slide instead of contact and get out of the way with the cue ball. Oop, trying to get some shape and rattled these 4 1/4 inch pockets.
Did you explain to him which one was the important screen?
I did. I actually told him we were not commentating at all and to watch the screen. That's all we've talked about. So Tara's playing later in our match later tonight, and she is more nervous about holding her alcohol.
You know, I wouldn't say it's about holding the alcohol. I think about letting it not affect her game, her shooting.
Well,
That's
good
her
luck
biggest
with
thing.
that.
Right. I mean, anytime you take, you know, 6 or 7 shots in less than an hour, like, it's going to happen.
Well, maybe that's the perk of this. Maybe some of those games will turn into 20-minute games.
Right.
But it's going to be fun. They're doing a race to 7 Masters race, so there will be 5 games of 8-ball, 8 games of 9-ball.
Masters!
Yeah. I'm ready for some Masters, for sure.
All right. Andy, do you want it back? I can go take a break, and you and Robert can probably talk a better product than I do.
If you need a break, absolutely, sir.
Let's see, old Buck, get out here. No, cue ball didn't get away from him. All right. That makes it a 5-4 race. Want to jump up and let Andy have it back?
Nope. Down, left, there. So did you guys have any fun commentary while I was away? Any topics of conversation that I would or would not want to be a part of?
Oh, you know, it's always like that.
Okay.
No, it's
Up and off the table.
It was more hitting towards a potential future matchup, and then also later on tonight in matchup with the ladies.
Potential match between who and who?
So we're talking about doing a doubles or triples matchup sometime in February. Not sure of a date or necessarily the teams yet on that, but to be determined, I think, on that. But I think it'd be fun doing a Scotch triples or Scotch doubles rotation like this right here.
Nice. Yeah, Yeah, sorry for the glitch in the screen for a second. Trying to incorporate a instant replay feature. So I'm going to probably try to incorporate that on this next shot to see if I can get it to play properly. So we will see what happens here. He's hooked pretty good back there. To me, that's one of those you almost want to just try to jam up something and leave him with difficult shape on something in the future. Try my little instant replay feature and see if it works on that last shot. Seems to work. Very nice. Back to our live feed. Robert, I've never had a chance to talk to you a great deal outside of the pool sets that we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
What, if you would like to comment, what you do for a living, or if you have anything, side hustles or anything that you would like to plug for yourself, feel free.
Yeah, so I sell drugs for a living.
Fantastic.
Legally. I'm a
Oh,
pharmacist.
well, never mind.
Yeah, not that kind of drug dealer. Outside of that, before I went to pharmacy school and when I was in Florida, I was doing Q-tips and repairs and things of that nature. And since being back up here, kind of got my hands back into that, and I'm in the process of getting all of my equipment set up to where I can start building some pool sticks.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a metal lathe that I hope my wife is not listening to right now. That's on order. That should be here in the next couple weeks because I'll be sleeping on the couch for sure.
Right.
Because she doesn't know about that just yet.
I'll be cuddling with my lathe in the garage.
Exactly. So I got that coming. I've been starting to buy like different burls and stocks of wood. That way it can kind of start acclimating. So I'm hoping that I can start pumping out some cues and getting going.
When I know that blanks can be purchased of carbon fiber shafts.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you're going to try to get into as well as, being able to purchase a carbon fiber blank and then custom make it as requested, or how does that work?
Yeah, I actually I bought 5 blanks about a month ago, and I've sold 3 of those so far, so I have 2 left. And then I ordered 10 more blanks. So I'll have 4 that are about 13 millimeters at the point with a pro taper, and then 3 at 12.4 and 3 at 11.8 millimeters at the tip.
These are all wood blanks or carbon fiber blanks?
All carbon fiber blanks.
Okay.
They should be here tomorrow, and then after I get them, I'll start getting them ready that way. When somebody needs one, it'll be a matter of going upstairs to the lathe and tapping it and putting a tip on it, whatever
Nice.
tip they want.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned that you were in Florida at one point. Was that when you were in Florida, was that during your Q work time, or was that during your pharmaceutical time?
So when I was in Florida, I was working in a pharmacy as a technician, and then I decided to go to pharmacy school. But I was doing the Q work at that time while I still worked as a technician, as like a little side hustle, making a little extra money to kind of supplement that.
Was that during the, we'll just call it opioid boom of the mid 2000s, when Florida was a hotbed of pill mills?
Yeah.
Not saying that you were involved with that, but I mean, I'm just kind of curious if you saw a lot of that nonsense that was going on during those times.
Yeah, it was crazy, for sure. I started working in the pharmacy towards the tail end of So I started working in the pharmacy during the tail end of that little boom, and that's when I guess the DEA started cracking down on like pharmacies and pharmacists for filling anything. We ended up opening a pharmacy, or I helped open a pharmacy, independent pharmacy at that time, and the DEA came in as we're opening, getting our licenses, and they said, we will test you, and if you fail the test, we're going to close you down immediately. And sure enough, like within 3 weeks of us opening, somebody came in with a wad of cash and 2 scripts and said, fill these, keep the cash, or change for whatever you want, and charge me whatever you want. And we're like, no, we can't do that. And later we found out that it was like one of their tests that they go around to independent pharmacies in the area and just, try to get them to buy, like basically dispense whatever the patient comes in with. And, as a pharmacist, we can turn down any script that we deem that's not safe for the patient, whether the doctor writes it or not.
Sure. That's interesting. Yeah, as Mike and I were talking earlier, there's a lot of podcasts and different shit that I watch. I don't watch a lot of mainstream media or anything like that, but I love documentaries, and I especially love documentaries having to do with the opioid crisis that people talk about. And there's been a lot of interesting stuff that I've seen about how things shaped up during Florida, or in Florida during that time, and it's amazing some of the shit that was pulled off.
Yeah, it was crazy watching some of those for sure. There was one that there was doctors in like Mobile, Alabama, who were competing to see who can write the most opioids at a time, and I thought that was just insane or crazy.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we're currently tied 6-6 in this race to 11. I think Buck and Shane have taken a short restroom break, or maybe to go get another fruit drink or whatever they're into. But yeah, we're just killing a little time. We've got some of our sponsors coming up here on the screen for you, so please make sure and check out Cutting Edge Q Services. That's Chris Adams' company doing Q repair. We've got Emerald Media. That's Madison, taking care of all your media needs. We got Stevens Lawn Care. That's Dustin Stevens, who we'll be seeing tomorrow night. There's Mike waving. Make sure and check Dustin out. Right now it's a little slow period for lawn maintenance and that sort of thing, but now's a good time to get on Dustin's books for some of the stuff that you'll need done during the spring and summer months. And then there was also a image there of the CJ's Downtown Billiards logo. So if you're not able to come check out things here at Doc Penn'ys, make sure and check out CJ's Downtown Billiards in Benton. Another very good local pool hall. I don't think pool is in its heyday the way it was years ago, but my personal feeling, and maybe it's just because you and I are kind of in this culture and in this local society, I mean, it seems like the pool player lifestyle is hopefully starting to pick back up. I see I see more youngsters coming in here with their families and doing some shoot-arounds in here, and it's cool seeing younger kids getting into it.
Absolutely. I know when I was a kid, I was just tall enough to see over a pool table, and my dad said, I'm going to teach you how to be the hustler, not the hustlee. And so I drove around a little chair around a pool table and just started shooting pool since I was 7 or 8, and here I am, about to turn 37, so for 30 years now.
Nice. That's very cool.
But yeah, it's a fun game. I mean, there's other things that you can play and do time and waste time with, but I think this is probably one of the safer sports you can play.
Oh, well, yeah. Depending on where you're at.
Right.
If you go to the rough parts of like Chicago or Philadelphia,
Right.
there may be some spots in there where you can get in trouble. But yeah, most pool halls are good, wholesome places. You're going to have seedy folks. I don't care if you're going to a McDonald's or Walmart. We know how seedy folks can be in Walmart, me being one of them. But yeah, if you can find a good local pool hall, it's a great place to spend time and make friends, and I mean, at times it's almost like a family atmosphere,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the place you play pool definitely makes a big difference on where you want to play. I know when I moved here a couple years ago, we checked out a couple different places, and for us, like, I lived in Bryant at the time, and so going to CJ's just made sense. It was a nice little crap show, if you will, but everybody had a good time. Everybody took care of everybody. And then Doc Penn'ys opened up, and I love the place here. I just wish it was a little bit closer.
What? No, he's still out there somewhere. So, all right. Looks like the boys are back. Getting ready to break this 13th rack. We're tied 6-6 in this race to 11. Buck broke them out pretty well, but scratched on that break. So Shane will start us out with ball in hand in the kitchen. Hopefully we don't have any more of those. Nobody's like seeing a scratch on the break, but I don't know that you can hear the cackling already in the background, and that's what I'm worried about. Is
It's gonna get worse.
Well, I'm worried about having scratches on the break and then telling the women, "Hey, you have to get in there and work in the kitchen." So,
don't give me any ideas.
Yeah,
Tim with a good time.
I know Lisa loves it when we're just cracking on each other back and forth, and I ask her to go make me a sandwich. She absolutely loves that. I get a lot of death threats from her. What about Tara? What kind of sense of humor? I mean, I've talked to her briefly as well, but I wouldn't say I know her well enough, as well as I know Lisa, for example, that she'll be playing against. So how much of a joke can Tara take if I start dishing out bullshit?
She can take it. Just be prepared, because she's going to dish it out right back at you.
Okay, I mean, that I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I got no problems with that.
Just wait until you rack a couple times, because then the jokes will come out, coming out from her.
Gotcha. Once she gets comfortable and gets in the zone.
Absolutely. And heaven forbid you have plastic racks or anything that's not wooden.
Oh, she prefers the wooden rack?
Oh, no. The joke is something about, you know why they have plastic racks and not wooden racks? So when you're down there racking for me, you're not getting splinters in your hands. And so she'll throw it out at you.
That's very good. Yeah, I was, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I was busting Lisa's chops a little bit, and I don't know if you were listening or if anybody was listening at that point, but I loved messing with her, and then somebody said, "You better watch out. She's going to come in and cut you."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that's the thing. I've seen a meme floating around that I really like that reminds us gentlemen that, hey, if a woman ever comes at you with a knife, just hand her a loaf of bread and a jar of mayonnaise, and her female instincts will take over, and she'll make you a sandwich.
You say that. Because I'm pretty sure Tara will throw that knife right at me, and
Right.
then the jars. And
Yep. No, anybody knows me that knows that, that's not my train of thought. That's not my lifestyle, but
right.
damn, I love a good joke. I don't care what industry or what part of the world you're in. There are some badass women around here.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean badass in a good way. They're just, and maybe it's just this community like we were talking about. There's a lot of really cool people in this community, and kind of being a family type setting, you can cut on each other and still hug it out at the end of the day. And
Right.
everybody knows that nothing is meant just completely to cut you to the bone, just to kind of tickle your ribs.
Yeah.
Joy says that she gets to be your first butt extension customer. and reminding me to get my mind out of the gutter. Thank you for that, because that is exactly where I went. Congratulations on being my first butt customer.
Yeah, so actually, Joy asked me if I can make it for her. And she wanted something purple. And so I found a piece of real beautiful, dyed, stabilized purple cottonwood burl. See if I can show you a picture of it. Yeah. Something like that I told her I can order it for her and get her going.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's for the whole shaft, or is that just for the extension?
That's just for a 6-inch extension for the back of their stick.
Okay.
Dabble in that, trying to get it set up for her. I think it's going to look good. I hope it looks good at least, and I hope she's happy with it.
Shane did win that last rack of 8 balls, and now we are moving on to 9 ball. And naturally, my system is glitching from time to time. I apologize about that. But good break by Shane. Got a nice shot on the 1 ball here. Left himself a tough cut on the 2, because he may try to bank it. Nope, cut it. Okay, very good. Difficult play here for Buck. Probably, I would assume, try some sort of defensive play, or may try to carry him and pocket the 6. I think that's what he was trying, but as close as he was to the 2, I think it was tough to calculate that carom. He did not carom for that. If you come up with any silly puns, feel free to throw them in, because I'm the king of trying to throw crappy puns out here. Earlier, Mike and I were talking about different comedians. There's a comedian been out for years, but a guy named Mark Norman he's originally from Louisiana, but I think mostly plays up in New York. But yeah, he's all about making puns and just silliness. Following it up with a fist pump in the air, yelling, "Comedy!" Looks like Shane left himself a difficult shot here. A little gentle kick. Rail 6, and then I think the cue did make contact with the rail again, so legal beagle.
But that's one of those things, like, why put yourself in a situation where you have to do something like that when you knew the 6 ball was tied up? Just, play a good defensive shot on the 5, don't make it, and then make your opponent, or give your opponent the option to try to make the 5 and get back out of it. Because that could make or break the game right there for him.
Oh, absolutely. And that may have just been a small miscalculation on his part, but who knows? Things look quite different from this overhead view as opposed to staring down the cue stick.
Oh, Buck.
Are you bucking kidding me?
He bucked it.
I bet you those fireworks that he works on, he's got fireworks going off between his ears right now. Another out by Shane puts him up 8-6 in this race to 11. As a reminder, those watching, once this race is over, we will shut down the stream temporarily while we recalibrate and reset for our next matchup. It is a Scotch doubles matchup between the lovely ladies from CJ's and the ladies from Doc Penn'ys. That's slated for a 7 o'clock start time, but we will get all set up and start plus or minus, or like minus 10 minutes around that 7 o'clock start time.
So, Andy, between 8-ball, 9-ball, and 10-ball, what's your favorite game?
10-ball all day long.
All day long?
Yep.
Any reason?
I mean, the main thing is I have been beaten too many times by players that are luckier than I am because they just shit a ball in. And that's not to say that everybody beats me is lucky. That's not the case at all. But
You're not talking about Aaron Rodgers, are you?
No. But I like taking the luck out of it by
Absolutely.
calling ball in pocket.
Yep.
I mean, so I like all three games, but just to be able to have a call ball in pocket format is kind of separates the luck out of it a little bit. I mean, you can still get lucky rolls and occasionally get a double tap that works out for you, and you still pocket the ball where you called it. But yeah, I hate being down on a hill game and somebody just smacks it away to break up a set in the middle of the table, and then they pocket the 9 and the match is over.
Yep.
I hate that for anyone. What about yourself? What do you prefer?
So I'm torn. I like 9-ball, but the same thing, that luck aspect. I like playing players that are good enough to not crap balls in, but sometimes it happens like that and sometimes it doesn't. But I am a fan of 10-ball for sure, because I like to play somebody and know that when they make a ball, it's the ball they meant, and that's the pocket they went for.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no problems being beaten.
No.
I just I hate being beaten by blind luck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that Mike and I have talked about before. Not, and this is not a statement of anybody at any specific pool hall, but there have been many times where I've played and I play against people and think, are you kidding me? How can somebody be that lucky all the time?
They're eating right, doing something right.
Right. But then I got thinking about it, and the way I explain it to myself is maybe that's where their luck stops, is between these 6 rails. Maybe they've got all the luck in the world on this table, and maybe I have a luckier streak in day-to-day life, and I'd rather have to work harder on the table and have the luck in the day-to-day life. But there again, that may just be me trying to bullshit myself. Who knows? Sounds good, though. Anyway, Shane had scratched after pocketing the 9-ball, so Buck would have had ball in hand on that 10-ball shot. He conceded that particular rack, so we're back to 8-ball. Buck getting ready to bust him out. Shane is still up 8-7 in this race to 11. Michael, did you see anything fun and exciting happening out there? I noticed that some of the other players for this evening's later matchup have started to arrive, so I didn't know if there were any daggers being thrown or if there are shots being fired or shots being taken.
Well, when we get the live stream of that match, Tara and Courtney from CJ's had some shirts made. And the whole Doc's Daddy's team from Doc Penn'ys here, they now have shirts. Tara's wearing a shirt that says Faith's Daddy, or Faith is my daddy. And Faith's shirt says Tara's Daddy. And Courtney and Lisa, the same thing. So, yeah, shirts.
Very nice.
You heard some of the cackling out there, I'm sure. Through the live.
We did. We brought that up.
And there's discussions now being said about the shots per rack.
Shots per rack. That would be the alcohol shots per rack? Okay.
So doing 2 now, or?
Apparently it has been adjusted to the winning team. No, the losing team buys the winning team 2 shots. Not everybody's going to drink a shot.
Where's the
time.
fun in that?
Well,
I was hoping by
you
the
get
fifth
up,
game.
you get up 4-0. You got 4 shots down. That probably helps. That's a nice evener.
Yeah.
And my hope is that the commentary team here does not have to take part in that that shot process. Otherwise, the commentary is going to get fast and loose real quick.
I don't know that it's ever been great to begin with. So.
Well, I didn't say it was great, but I mean, we have a little bit of decorum occasionally and hold back on some of the bullshit that we spew.
Where's that censor button at?
Right, no joke.
Beep.
Yeah, start throwing some Jaeger bombs at folks, and all that goes right out the window.
I'm watching the delay again, of course.
When Shane keeps his nice, smooth, steady stroke, he generally will have better control over that cue ball. Every once in a while, you'll see him kind of cut loose, and as soon as he fires that trigger, he's jumping right up with it or moving with that stroke.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's been more than a few times where he seems to kind of rush his follow through a little bit, getting ready for the next shot, and it occasionally bites him, but that happens to all of us. I like seeing, people lining up their shot and, placing their cue towards the point of contact to try to line up the quote-unquote ghost ball.
Mm-hmm.
But just for a joke at some point, I would love to just be ready and have, like, a ruler and a compass and just get it all set up. I'm like, okay, figure out the angles, and then just walk up and blast it and see what happens.
There was a training tool I saw at one point in time that you can kind of set up next to that ball, and it kind of gives you a fake ghost ball with where you're supposed to hit that cue ball, or aim the cue ball towards, and the other ball is going to go in that direction.
Sure. There was a... Wow, check that out. That was a nice kick, Shane. Very well done, sir. I'll get on to my thought here after he slices at this 8-ball. Stepping away, taking a breath, chalking up. And keep that in mind, folks, especially if you're a quote-unquote lower, very nice shot, quote-unquote lower skill level player. If you get down on your shot and you address the cue ball, and while you're in your stance, if something feels off, stand up, step away from the table, reset, come back, and readdress the cue ball. It sounds like a simple, silly thing, but you will find that it can make all the difference in the world. There's so many times where I've screwed up and thought, man, if I would have just stood up, taken my breath, and refocused, I could have had that shot. But instead, I went, nah, I got this, and just kind of rushed it and screwed myself.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many times I see somebody doing something like that, and then, as they're down, they're kind of like leaning their body, and they're off balance, and then they end up missing the shot, and they're like, I don't know why I missed the shot. Well, I can tell you why you missed your shot, because you weren't steady, you weren't balanced, your center of gravity was off.
You weren't comfortable.
Yeah, and so if you just stand back up, readjust the table, you're more likely to make that ball than trying to lean into where you need to be at.
And, to put that in somewhat of perspective, I mean, we're pool players. We're not professional athletes or anything, but think about it from that perspective. If you get down to take a shot and you are uncomfortable with it, and you just go ahead and work through that, then the most that can happen is, you'll miss a shot. But think about, we'll say, a gymnast, for example. If they feel something is uncomfortable before they start their routine, they could end up blowing out a knee.
Yep.
And while that is much more difficult than, what we do on the pool table, still it's a good bit of perspective to keep, in that even high-level athletes in different sports will do the same thing. If it doesn't feel right, reset and make sure you feel comfortable, because the comfort will make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely does.
I think Buck got a little bit more out of that cue ball than he wanted. Still got shape on the 4 here, but
So, fun fact, Buck and Toby Dyer played in a doubles match yesterday at CJ's against Brian Wood and I think TJ. And during that match, about 15 minutes after I left to come here to watch the shenanigans going on here, Buck's tip popped off of his stick. And so he gets here and he's like, "You didn't bring anything to put tips on, did you?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. That's all at CJ's." And so I got some glue, and he ended up putting his tip back on himself.
that was here.
Here, yeah, right by the front counter. He just
Wow.
put glue on and stuck it on, so looks like it's staying right now.
Was Chris not here at that time?
No, Chris wasn't here yet.
Okay, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
We see Chris's logo up there in the top left for Cutting Edge Q Services. I know that in most cases he can knock something like that out in 10 or 15 minutes, and you're ready to go again. So that's why I was asking. Normally, I know Chris would be on the spot, ready to help out with something like that. So
Yeah, he walked in probably about 45 minutes after Buck got here and did it himself.
Hi. We've got a strapping young man that has walked into the booth here with us. Young Austin Greco. Hello, Austin. How are you?
Hello, hello. Hey, guys.
Got anything fun and exciting that you've seen going on out there, or anything you want to talk about?
No, not really. Just coming to check out the setup over here, see how it's going in the commentary land. It's looking good, though, here.
Watch these screens, not that one. That one's on a delay.
I see. Okay,
I've just got that one pulled up so that we can watch for the comments.
sure.
But yeah, it looks like Buck's here on this 7-ball. Kind of a difficult spot. You can't really make that 7-ball up in the corner without scratching. You almost want to kick off the rail, come back, put it in the side, but then you're kind of unsure where you're going to end up on that 9-ball. Do you concur, Doctor?
Doctor?
Doctor.
Yes, I concur.
How old are you, Robert?
36, be 37 in 2 weeks.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know if that the comments of Doctor.
Yeah,
I didn't know if that was lost on you.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So for me, it'd be, for that shot right there where the 7 balls place, it'd be hard for me not to try to put a little bottom and do more of a stroke through instead of a power shot, and kind of pull it back behind that side pocket.
You heard it here, folks. He loves to stroke through the bottom.
I sure do.
A little stroke through the bottom.
Very good, very good. Another rack on Buck's side. Shane's still up 9-8, race to 11. Do we know, are they doing anything like win by 2 or anything like that, or is it just a straight up race to 11?
I'm not sure if it's win by a certain number or not.
Okay. I would assume that it's just a straight up race to 11, because I don't think there are any super high stakes on this. I don't know what kind of cookies they're playing for, if they're Chips Ahoy or Famous Amos. So
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're playing for exactly. I know, I think Mike was saying something about the winner's going to donate everything to Shoot for a Cure. so St. Jude's.
Nice.
So-
St. Jude's.
It's like it's been a pretty close race here, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Pretty close.
Yeah, they've been staying within a couple racks of one another. It's been nice.
Shane kind of ran away with it in the beginning, didn't he? But
Yeah, first couple racks, I think Buck was still kind of getting his rhythm down on the table, getting his feet set, so to speak, looking at the, for the most part, it doesn't make that much difference, but this is a set of TV balls so that the colors are easier to differentiate from an overhead view like this. So it may take one or two racks to get into the comfort zone of looking at those.
yeah, I think he was down like 5-1 initially, and then now look, it's come back to what is this, 8-9 right now, and he's looking like he's got a good look for the rest of this rack.
That's a problem with a lot of players, though. They'll get a good jump on somebody on a race, and then they'll start getting lazier.
Kind
like
of relax a little bit, yeah.
And they just won't, keep playing their game the way they are.
Austin, you were one of the first live streams that we did, one of the first Showdown matches that we had done last year.
Yeah, you're right.
You got any other Showdown matches in the works that you might be looking to do?
I haven't set anything up, and I haven't had any requests, but I would like to play something. I think that actually, now you mention it, I think that I have talked a little bit about it playing with Devin Thiel.
Oh,
I think that would be a good match.
That'd be a very nice match. As far as different players, I would love, I don't know who I would put him up against, but I would love to see Ed Carrion.
Oh, yeah, Ed.
I would love to see him play. That'd
Ed
be a good one.
The world.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic player, and he's not old, but he's getting up there in years, and I would love to have some of that documented so that, so that if his health were to ever deteriorate, knock wood that doesn't ever happen, but be nice to have record of that and
Definitely.
him to be able to look back on it.
Sure. Well, I mean, everyone knows that Ed's super good. I mean, he can win any match that he plays, for sure. I mean, it doesn't. The thing is with Ed is like he's really got the experience and all of the defense. He's like really good in that area.
That was a nice 10-ball shot by Shane. Puts him on the hill, 10-8 in this race to 11.
Yeah, what do you think about Ed and Mike playing? I think that would be a good match.
Mike Moss?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good match.
Yeah, it would be entertaining for sure. I'm not going to name names, but there are other players that skill level wise, I would love to see them play and have it recorded, have it on record, so to speak. But there are some of those players with those higher skill levels that their personality is a little dry, little too just blah to want to try to set something up with them. But,
Sure, yeah.
because most, that's one of the things I tried to do this year was incorporate an additional table microphone so that we could be able to hear the players banter a little bit more. And, that's what's been nice is some of the folks that have a little more personality, being able to hear what they have to say, and that just adds to the experience. But
Yeah.
there's some folks that as they're playing, they don't have a lot of personality on the table, myself included. Sure. I kind of you've seen me playing, I just kind of get in there and do my thing. I don't seek out attaboys or good shots. It's just, okay, we're up here playing pool. And that's...
Yeah, that's a different aspect of it, you know, to get some player dialogue. That would be interesting. I think this, you know, this one probably would have been a good match for it, actually.
Yeah, one of the things that I have in my we'll call it Amazon wish list of some of the electronic stuff that I want to add. There's a microphone set, wireless mic set that would be easy to put on a player's collar.
Sure.
So that when we get the players we know are just going to be completely wilding out on what they're saying, those are the ones that'll be fun to mic up. So I'm hoping that maybe later this year I'll be able to pick those up and add that feature in. We'll just see how that goes. But as a reminder for me to do stuff like that, that's where I need your guys' support. I need you to get out there and like and subscribe and share all of these YouTube events that we put out there. Make sure and let people know what you like about the Billiards Camera YouTube channel. Donations are welcome. I think in the bio, I'll have to double check, but I think in the bio I've got some links available to my Cash App and Venmo, so that if you've got an extra $5 to drop, it is always greatly appreciated. And again, all those donations get put right back into the Billiards Camera. I'm not out there using it to buy gas for my vehicle or get groceries. I've got an account I've got set up where I can just take this stuff, and right now I'm still not making anybody feel bad, but still kind of in debt on some of the equipment here. I've got a tracker set up so that I can see the donations I've received and the money that I put out on some of this equipment. And eventually I would love to be even, but that's not the point of it. The point is to be able to give you guys something enjoyable to watch. And the more subscribers we get, the more people we get enjoying it and that have the ability to donate, we can try to throw out a better product. So that was sorry about that. That was just a long diatribe on, hey, donations are welcome. Look for Cash App and Venmo in the bio or links on the Billiards Camera YouTube page. You can hit me up at that Andy Moss on either platform.
So that was a good shot by Shane right there. Outside of that, the wireless mics, for the players, how much would that run? Just out of curiosity.
The one that I'm looking at is made by a company called Pico, I believe. And it's a setup where the receiver, I think distance-wise, it will work out where our live stream booth is in comparison to where the player table is. I think the distance will be fine, where I can take the receiver and run it straight into the soundboard, and the microphones that clip onto their collars are, not much bigger than an ear pod.
Okay.
And I think a set runs, I want to say it's in the $400 or $500 range.
Oh, wow.
But, it's a good product.
It's a good match.
And I completely zoned out there, and it looks like Shane won that one. So, yep, I was just double checking. Yep, looks like Shane won that one.
So what I'm hearing is we got to have a, some targets, donations of $400 or $500 per stream. That's what I'm hearing.
That would be fantastic.
Get it sooner than later.
Yeah, I would love to be able to get to where this is more of a business where, I could incorporate people to help with the production and be able to throw some funds their direction, I mean, I know both of you like to come in here and help with commentary and stuff like that, but you know, to have more of a full-time team would be kind of cool. That's a ways down the road, but yeah, donations are always welcome. So
we've come a long way though. We have come a long way from the commentary in those first few showdowns. Just, you know, strung up not too far from the players' tables, kind of like trying to watch how loud you're talking to avoid them hearing and everything, and to where we are now, looking at the monitors and the setup, and everything looks amazing. But yeah, like you said, I guess it could be. There's always room to kind of grow that a little bit.
absolutely.
The players' dialogue with the mics is pretty cool. You know, something else I've seen actually in some pretty, you know, some professional tournaments actually. One in particular I've seen that they've actually put heart monitors on the players, which is kind of interesting.
That would be interesting, because
it is kind of interesting. Yeah, you could display that up on the screen for each player, and you know,
some of these players I didn't even think they had a heart. So,
yeah, yeah. Just a different, you know, there's just to show that there's some different aspects you can get involved with this.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and shut this down for right now. I'd like to thank Robert Maltby and Austin Greco for coming in and helping with a little commentary. You guys are more than welcome to stick around and come back and help with commentary on the next match. But we are going to go ahead and shut down for now, and probably be starting the next matchup between Courtney and Tara, and Lisa and Faith here in the next 15 minutes. So thanks again for watching. And anything else, guys?
No, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right. We will see you guys in a little bit.
Hey, Kevin, I thought she called you